Patrick O'Neill here, and you're listening to the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. And if you ain't, well, I'm going to fight you.
This is the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. Feel the pain in the blast. Through the ropes, through the fight, Maritime Wrestling rules the night. The past, the present, the future. Maritime Wrestling never dies.
Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast, episode 29, as Corey shows us a blurry something. Big Boss Corey, how's it going?
Going well, man. I'm looking at old game passes from the
there you go.
Miners.
Yeah. We got Magic Man Jason.
How's it going?
Good. Working hard.
Yeah.
Mark Richard.
Not working hard.
Not at all. Look at me lounging away, man. I'm here to chill.
He's living his best life. Before we get started, I got a few things that I want to mention here. First off, a big thank you and a big shout out to August Artois. He gave us a bit of a shout out on his podcast, The Wrestling Dude. I sure hope that's how it's said. D-O-O-D, dude.
Not the wrestling dude, isn't it? It's that wrestling dude?
That wrestling dude? Is it that wrestling dude?
That's one of the podcasts he's on. The main host of that podcast, his name is Wizzo. And Artois is a co-host, but Artois also has his own podcast called The Real and Raw. And so, yeah, he's they podcast a couple nights a week. I think Wednesdays and Thursdays. They go live at 7 o'clock. So.
He's real, he's raw, he's the goddamn international draw. He's August Artois. It's good beer, man. So big thank you to August Artois for that shout out. He flashed the picture of me and him on the screen and nearly shit myself. So thank you for that.
Shit, I almost shit myself too. I saw Corey. Holy fuck.
Jeez, it's a great laxative right there. Myself and Big Boss went to our Steamers home opener game. It's become a tradition. Like, this is how we get prepared for the BSHL. But a funny story here. So it's the opening night for the Steamers, and they're gonna have their roster. Like, they're gonna announce their roster and all that on the ice. And the song "Serious" by the Alan Parsons Project hits.
Oh no!
Me and Corey just look at each other wide-eyed. If you're a fan of Maritime Wrestling, you know that's the ultimate male Zane Valentine's theme song. So I'm like, that is awesome, Zane Valentine. And Corey looks at me and he goes, I get so hyped when that song hits for Zane Valentine. Such a good theme song. And it fits him so well. One more thing before we get into the first show. I had a chance to watch the North Pro Shifting Currents show. I was not there for that one. This is the Jason Boa, Giant Orion Bloodsport match. 10 out of 10 show.
Spot.
No, it was on North Pro.
I know, but it had the Corey spot in it.
Oh, the Corey spot. I thought you said New Scott.
You're hilarious, Jason. You just here's some audience laughing sound for you.
There it is. The audience laughing sound. Nobody laughing. No, I really enjoy. I love the promos. It is not PG-13, which to me, not every promotion needs to be PG-13. So absolutely. I appreciate that. I really hope there's a show in October when I'm done work, because I haven't seen North Pro all year, and I'm due for a North Pro. But we'll get to North Pro back later on. 2 big shows this weekend that just passed. First up, CCW had a really big show. This was the Auto City Cup Battle Royal show, the second annual. For the number 1 contenders to the tag team titles, Crude Oil beat Power of Love. This is Horsepower Hunter Sampson and Butter Love. Before that, Zane Valentine beat Patrick O'Neill.
Patrick.
There you go. For the River Valley title, Kerry Killam versus Slick McRick went to a double DQ. The big bad LG, Logan Green, he beat Matt Strong. Rugged Rick Owens, he beat the Port City's finest Caden for the NBWA heavyweight title. The Maritime strongest wrestler, Nick Strong, beat Pat Persuasi, and the second annual Auto City Cup Battle Royal winner was Matt Strong. This is his second trophy that he has won. He also holds the York County Cup Championship. To me, this screams we're pushing him for an NBWA heavyweight title match. I think at the end of the year, I think this is building up towards a civil war between Matt Strong and Nick Strong. And fantasy booking in my head, I see a match happening. I see Nick Strong winning by dastardly means. I could see a War Games or a Survivor Series style match like early next year to end their feud with Team Matt versus Team Nick. Like 10-man tag, maybe a steel cage, maybe a Survivor Series style. If it's Survivor Series styles, it ends with Nick and Matt, and that's where Matt gets the win. Therefore, Matt wins the feud, but not the belt. Because I don't think he's ready for it yet. I did say that about Hollywood Cole. I was wrong about Hollywood Cole. I was wrong about a lot of things. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think this is the starting build-up, like you say, for Matt. I think he's gearing up towards a title match. I think he gets the title shot by the end of the year. I don't think he takes it. But definitely next year, a good like War Games, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Split the company down the middle. I think it'd be a great, almost like an anniversary show, something to build up towards your anniversary show. I think it would be fantastic.
I have two things. One, this is the second time they do the Auto City Showdown. That looks like a really fun place to do the show. That looks like a lot of fun. Two, if I sat down on one of the chairs that they have for this show, I would wreck it so bad. My God, I looked at those chairs and I was like, I'd have to sit one butt cheek on each chair and take two chairs because I would absolutely demolish them. I saw them and I was like, ooh, buddy, that is not a Corey safe chair right there. I don't know. It just looks like a fun show to me. Looks like a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I know the Kerry Killam Slick McGrick match was a double count out, and I'm pretty sure they were two guys as far away from the ring as possible for the count out. They were like beyond the crowd, halfway across the parking lot, beating each other's head off the porta potties. By the time they counted them out, it was pretty good. I seen a few clips and stuff. Looked like a fantastic show. So kudos to CCW for another outstanding show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I like where it's headed as well, like in the fact that Matt Strong won. And as you mentioned, like it'll lead definitely to a feud between the brothers. Already what we've seen in the past between them breaking up is still so fresh. I think it's time to strike when it's still, you still remember it for one, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, like crude oil as well. They're still showing that they're willing and able to go back after those titles.
Yeah. Well, the thing about crude oil, we talked with Matt Chevron, and I am a huge supporter of Matt Chevron, a huge fan. No, not at all. Huh? I like his style. I really enjoy his style. Like, in all seriousness, he's one of the best in the Maritimes, in my opinion. And I told him, like, you're due for a singles title. And he said flat out, I'm enjoying crude oil. I think we're the best tag team in Canada right now. And I think you go with what works. And I respect the hell out of him for saying that. Yeah. Because it's not everybody. It reminds me of Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson in the 80s. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, were so popular. And Ricky Morton had that, like, baby face, he'd sell, and the crowd wanted to kill those heels. They're poor Ricky. And they wanted to put the NWA World Heavyweight title on Ricky Morton. And he said, absolutely not. Like, you're refusing the World Heavyweight title? He's like, my money is in my tag team.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what Chevron's told us. Like, this is what's working right now.
It's no different than trying to split up the Motor City Machine Guns. Can't do it.
Yep.
They don't work as singles. You know what I mean? Like, it's what sells.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A little bit of a bizarre match here with Nick Strong and Pat Persuasi. To me, that screams two heels. But that's always something that worked in the past. Because you hate both guys, but it's like, who do you hate more? Who do you want to see get killed more?
Yeah, it's who can turn up the heat dial the highest. So that kind of like, you know what I mean? You're not really going to get a whole lot of cheers. You're going to get a whole lot of boos throughout the whole match, and I think it's cool. Pat Persuasi is almost, to me, like one of those tweener comedy heels versus...
I think he leans more on heel than babyface, but I agree, tweener. But, like, I don't know. It's interesting. I can't wait for this match. I think it's not the first time that they fought.
No, I don't
think it's
so
happened
either.
before.
But right now, Nick is really, really, really drawing a lot of heat. I think his feud with Matt alone really like personified the way that people hate him, and now he's just doubling down on it. Now he wants to be called Maritime's strongest champion as of the Auto City Cup, so that's his new moniker now. So it's just, you know what I mean? Like, he's doubling down on everything. So, he's definitely generating the heat, that's for sure.
I'm loving how they book things, because Logan beating Matt Strong, like, it's like Matt's winning the battle royal, but they're keeping Logan strong by beating Matt. So I enjoy that booking. Logan
comeback
Green
story, right?
Comeback story, exactly. And with Logan Green, it's just a notch on his belt right there. One of the best in the Maritimes. Rick Owens and Caden, they're continuing this feud. It's the feud that's been going on not only in Fredericton, but in Prince Edward Island. And we could easily see this feud go to IHW as well.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they're two-season guys, two-season vets. They've been feuding for not just the recent year, but over the last few years, different promotions. So, it's fun to watch for sure.
Absolutely.
I have a question, though. Like, I'm curious what you guys think about this, because you mentioned earlier, what if there was a Survivor Series type match or a War Games type match, and immediately right there you mentioned that Logan Green beats Matt Strong. Now, could we possibly see the guys from Money Talks in cahoots with Nick Strong?
I mean, it's possible. Like, if you fantasy book Final Battle, a Civil War, Strong Brother versus Strong Brother, Team Nick versus Team Matt, I think you just take the top heels from CCW, and unfortunately one gets left behind. Which one is it? You know, there's Logan, there's Caden, there's
Zane.
Scott Lee Crew, there's Zane, and there's Chevron. So unless you do a 12-man match or whatever, which is possible, like, those are your top heels. And you're not even putting Kerry Killam in there. Like, that's another big heel. But on the babyface side, with Matt, you gotta have Ace Dynasty there.
Exactly.
You gotta have Rick Owens. You gotta have Larry Horowitz.
Hunter Sampson.
Hunter Sampson. So you kind of would have to do a 12-man match.
That,
But
unless you built some kind of eliminator type tournament.
Yeah.
And the winners, whatever, move on to the War Games, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what gets my attention, though, is that this is fair ground for a turn. Either for a face to go heel, a heel to go face. Who fucking knows, man?
I mean, CCW is so rich right now with heels. Who turns face, you know?
Who knows?
Zane's too good as a heel. Logan is probably the best heel I've ever seen. Caden's one of the best heels I've ever seen. Chevron and Scott Lee Cruz, they kind of fit the tweener vibe too, because they're the cool heels.
Yeah.
They're dastardly, they cheat and all that. We're like, damn, that's cool. Like, they look cool. The only one there that you could see turning babyface is maybe Nick.
Nick, Pat Persuasi.
The Pat Persuasi gimmick is such a comedy character sometimes that, well, then again, Santino Marella did turn babyface after a while. So you got me on a technicality there. So,
But
CCW.
Imagine though that Nick Strong would turn face, Matt Strong would turn heel.
I think I would just turn Nick face because,
But eventually down the road.
but way down the road, like they need their baby faces. They really need, like, I'm seeing Rick Owens potentially getting another title shot. Maybe Larry Horowitz gets another title shot down the line, or title reign, I should say. Same with Owens, another title reign. Then you got to start booking some younger guys to get the strap. And right now, like, your two top babyface prospects are Hunter Sampson and Spike Esty.
Yeah.
And Matt Strong, like, he's a notch underneath them right now. And maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe he's at that same level. But I think Spike and Hunter Sampson are like the two front runners right now for the two to break out as baby faces.
Absolutely, and like I say, we've still got like Patrick O'Neill coming up the backside as well. Oscar Ironside as well.
Is he still there? I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, I don't know if he's moved on or if he just needed some time off for the summer or what it is, but I'm sure we'll see him again. I know that there's some more students coming down the pipeline as well over time, so I'm sure we'll see a few more coming along as well.
So big thank you to the CCW management for sending us the results here. Moving on to the second and final show of the weekend, the rarity here. UCW had a big show. Big thank you to New Scott, who records all the UCW shows. I think he has a hand in it too, so New Scott is the man. We think the world of him, and big thank you to New Scott. The results for the UCW show is Ricky Mortis beating Lincoln Steen, Justin Newhook beating Joey White, Ronnie Payne beating Max Power, Robbie McAllister and Jonathan Cross versus JP Sims and Anthony Deuce Harlem ended in a double DQ, I believe.
Yep.
And where am I? For the Atlantic Canadian title, Rudy Lockhart defended versus Dawson James. That must have been just incredible. And for the UCW Heavyweight Championship of the World, a rematch between Chip Chambers and Hollywood Cole. Chip Chambers successfully retains.
Hold on. It wasn't a rematch. It was actually Chip versus Ethan Knight versus Hollywood Cole. Triple threat match.
Triple threat? Did I miss? I guess I missed Ethan.
So
that doesn't help my case at all.
Hollywood Heathens. Yeah, Hollywood Heathens had to take on each other. So it was brother versus Chip type thing. So
they're not related.
Well, they spend more time together. They're more like a dating couple at this point, I guess.
Jeez, your words, not mine.
But yeah, I've seen some clips. It was a fantastic match.
For this triple threat match, like the Hollywood Heathens, that's like one of the top acts of UCW.
Yeah, it's one of the top tag teams at Maritimes, period.
Yep, I agree. I think, like, we kept talking about North Pro and who should be the first North Pro tag team champions if that does happen. And we always go to Sabotage. Hollywood Heathens is not a bad choice.
No, absolutely not. Especially where they're undefeated in North Pro.
Yeah.
Holy jumping.
Chip Chambers not continuing. He's just won the title just a few weeks ago. Is this going to be one of those legendary reigns that we've seen in the Maritimes? Corey, I've seen you. I saw you nod there. I know you're a big Chip Chambers guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chip's just. I thought we had seen Chip peak 10 years ago, and I think I was wrong. I think he's really reaching a new level right now. So I don't know where this is heading, and I don't know what we're going to see in the future from Chip, but this is as good as it's gotten, man.
Yeah, I think 2025 it was
the year of Chip.
Yeah, a new fire that's been reignited in him. I know he had taken a hiatus there for a while. He came back this year, and whatever happened during that hiatus definitely lit a fire inside of him, and he's firing on all cylinders, and unbelievable matches all over the Maritimes. So yeah, we'll see how much longer he holds the title, but it's definitely not the end of Chip, that's for sure.
By the end of this weekend, Chip Chambers could hold the Maritime Heavyweight title, UCW Heavyweight title, and the IHW Heavyweight title. So
correct.
That would be like massive. Like, in my opinion, he's Wrestler of the Year. Well, just wait and see on that one. There's a lot of different names that are in that category. Rudy Lockhart with another successful defense of the Atlantic Canadian title against Dawson James. Rudy with that title right now is working really well. When does he go up from that? Because we always talk about stepping stone belts.
Yeah.
And Rudy's one of those diamonds in the rough for the Maritimes. Like, he's a former North Pro champion. He's a light heavyweight champion in Red Rock. He's the Atlantic Canadian champion here. He's a former tag team champion here. Does he go into the deep end? Does he try to face Chip Chambers? Because Rudy versus Chip, I don't know if it's happened already. Sign me up.
Yeah. I think Rudy versus Chip. If Rudy takes the heavyweight title from Chip at some point, I think that sets up a continuing feud of Rudy versus Ethan Knight. Ethan will want that heavyweight title.
Yeah.
And I think that helps build, like Hollywood Cole's already had the title, Chip's had it now. If they continue building on that Rudy and Ethan feud that's been going on all summer, everywhere's in the Maritimes, having Rudy drop the title, the Atlantic title, and go after that heavyweight title, whether Ethan takes it off of Chip or Rudy takes it off of Chip, I think that feud continues to build.
I actually want to. I have a bit of a different mindset when it comes to this. I think what happens here is that there's some feuds that I've really enjoyed, and I can't just name one like that, like just shoot one out of my mind, but just again give you guys some perspective. I think I've seen some feuds that have been for lower tier titles be some of my favorite feuds, rather than it building up and up and up and up, where eventually a guy would lose a title, he would come back into the title picture, he would then win it again, that same guy comes back. Like, it's a back and forth, right? And you see a lot of it, especially in those lower tier titles.
It's the Macho Man effect.
Exactly.
WrestleMania 3, Macho Man versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yes.
It was a mid-card title match, Intercontinental title, that stole the show.
Yep.
And that match, I've never heard anybody say this, but in my opinion, this match solidified Macho Man Randy Savage as you can be a main event guy. A year later, he's winning the World Heavyweight title.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Those mid-card feuds, me and Corey have had conversations about this forever and a day, you know, about how, yes, my favorite wrestler is the Ultimate Warrior. I enjoyed his world title reign more than his Intercontinental title reign. With other people, give me a good secondary title reign, you know, because those are the building blocks. You know, from the opening match all the way to the main event, you know, you have to have a full card. You know, one guy can't sell a show now. We're not in the Hulk Hogan era anymore, where you're buying a ticket to see Hulk Hogan and everything else is extra. And those mid-card titles and those mid-card feuds for those mid-card titles can be just the best thing on the card if you allow it. North Pro's a great example. Silva versus Charlie Hubley was massive for North Pro. Massive.
Yeah. They had how many matches, by the way? 2 or 3?
I think it was only 2. 2 or maybe 3.
Yeah, I think
they might have had 3 actually.
I think they had just a singles match, and then they had that crazy match where Charlie.
The dog collar match. No, so
the dog collar match was against Marston.
It was Marston. Never mind. Yep. My bad.
But you know that's an awesome, amazing feud that I would see again, even if it was without the title in the picture. It just made it that much more, that much bigger of a feud, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricky Mortis making some waves in UCW, getting a big win against a legend like Lincoln Steen. Like, Corey told me, I think it was yesterday or the day before, he's like, Mortis is going to be a world champion in a year.
Yeah,
I stand by that. I think the growth that we've seen from him in the last year, I think it only continues. He's relocated to Halifax. He's going to have easier access to get on more shows. Like it or not, New Brunswick's doing really, really well. But, not as many shows as you see in Nova Scotia. So he's opening some doors over there. And I think we're going to see him hoist a major championship within the next year.
Yeah.
Agreed. So once again, big thank you to New Scott. Big thank you to UCW. Only 2 shows this week, but we have something special. Are you guys ready?
Probably not.
For the upcoming shows, because we forgot that already.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what are you talking about? Like, what's special? What's...
I mean, we're going to be at a couple of these shows here. Some of us will be at different shows this weekend, so not every weekend we get out to shows lately. It's been, it's been
busy.
A couple of weeks. Yeah, been busy, boys. Hockey's starting back up.
So upcoming shows, there's all kinds. So if you can't make it out this past weekend because there's only 2, don't worry. This weekend coming up's got all kinds. So Friday, North Pro Hidden Depths at the Tide and Boar in Moncton.
Going back home.
Back to the Tide and Boar. There's only 3 matches that have been announced. VIP match. Pro Wrestling Ontario's Parkside is coming back to take on Dawson James.
Should be awesome.
Another VIP match is the Durnings, Dick and Dryce, are taking on the Hateful Dead. I think
That
that's
should
going to
be
be
great.
a fucking great match. North Pro Championship, Giant Orion is taking on the number 1 contender, Covey Christ. So
Corey had a good point about that.
Yeah, the good point about that match is that I'm going the fuck up into the bleachers so I don't end up with a Ryan ass on my lap.
No, when Orion won the title, Corey was like fantasy booking where this title goes, and one of the points he made is Covey Christ is owed a rematch. Covey's getting his rematch. He had to earn it, but Covey's getting his rematch.
yeah. And those are the only matches and talent that have been announced so far. They haven't released any other matches or even a poster with talent on it. So we have nobody else has been announced yet. So who knows what the rest of the night holds? But I'm sure it'll be a banger of a show for sure. Also on that
They've got
Friday
an after party after that with Radio, right?
Oh yes, that's right.
Jacuzzi, huh? Mark, you like that,
Yep.
huh? 9-piece luggage set. Is that the song? Is it 9-piece or 5-piece? I don't fucking remember.
Oh, that I don't know.
Hostie Colis.
Il y a de la place en masse dans ma jacuzzi.
Oh, IHW September to Surrender weekend is starting for the anniversary. First night Friday, Amherst Curling Club in Amherst, Nova Scotia. On the card, they've got TNA star Cody Diener, special guest Amherst Zone MKB and the Candyman, as well as heavyweight champion Chris Charters. They got Fantana, Chevron, Kirk Obey, and more. Saturday night, IHW has their big show at the Riverview Coverdale Rec Center. They have a tag team match, Forever Young versus the Hateful Dead. Busy weekend for the Hateful Dead by the looks of things. IHW Women's Championship match. The finals, Ronnie Payne versus Madison Miles, crowning a new champion. And the IHW Heavyweight Championship Fatal 4-Way match, Chris Charters versus Chip Chambers versus JP Sims versus Covey Christ. TNA star Cody Diener will be there as well, plus many more. It's going to be
including all 4 members of the podcast.
What?
That's a selling point, right?
It sure is.
Sure.
You want the laugh track again? I've got the laugh track for you. There you go. We'll carry on.
There you go.
Oh, it overlapped a little bit.
I think it's going to be a good time, man. Every time we get to a show, all of us together, it's a lot of fun. So
Absolutely.
I get a little emotional thinking about this one. 20 fucking years of IHW. I'm old.
Yeah.
I am old. I was a baby when this started. I had
you're
hair.
old.
That's not true. I didn't have hair. I didn't have gray hair, at least.
Yeah, 20 years ago, I was already graduated from college. Damn it.
Man, well, I mean, I was definitely, like, I was 21, right? But yeah, amazing.
I was in high school.
Oh my god,
Mark was probably in grade school.
And
20 years ago, Mark, you
I graduated in 2011 from high school.
11. Oh my god, this guy was in grade 6.
I'm just chatting away with the oldies here.
In 2005, I had already graduated college twice and university once.
Holy fuck! Like,
Yeah.
I graduated high school in 2007, I believe. And in 2011, I was in college.
In 2005, I was a complete dipshit, and the only things I liked were the gym and wrestling. So this was a great time in my life. But
And hockey. You loved hockey.
No, man, I had fallen out of hockey a little bit at that point.
Really?
It was really
That
all about
surprises
wrestling and the gym.
It was the year of the lockout, man. That was a sad fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
And Xbox. Let's be fair, I was playing an F load of Xbox 360. Holy, my god!
2006, eh? That
Gears of War all day, baby.
Oh, I used to love Gears of War.
Great memories, though. Man, those old IHW shows. I've been getting nostalgic and looking at some of them on YouTube, including something we'll be talking about in a little while. And man, yeah, great memories.
All right.
Also on Saturday in Stewiacke, Nova Scotia, the CGPW's Rebirth show. They've got a Stewiacke street fight between Anthony Deuce Harlem and Stunning Steve Arsenault. They have got a best 2 out of 3 falls match. Cody Uno Ocho versus FKA. They have a brass knuckles match with Chaz Warpath Williams versus Riddick Stone. They have a submission match, Baron Von Blackheart versus Vincent Tyler. And also on the card, they have Nick Teeth, Highway Heats, Joe Dunlap, and more. So that's all of Saturday on Sunday.
I'm glad to see Nick Teeth coming back. He was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Talking about IHW originals.
Yeah, I've never had the opportunity to see him wrestle. So.
Sidewinder.
Yeah, originally Sidewinder. He was, I believe he's my age, but he was just late teens when he started wrestling. And the story that I always heard is they brought him into IHW because they saw him do a backflip off a bridge into this river, this ocean or whatever,
Water,
and that ocean, the water or whatever, and that's where the shit pipes would pass and all that. So he basically backflipped into shit.
Okay.
That's a rumor I always heard, but yeah, Nick Teeth was always the night
is the shit. So see what I did there? Sidewinder in that original IHW show actually faced off against the guy that we all got to know very well, Marcus Burke. But back then,
the first IHW show that I ever went to is the night that Sidewinder turned into Nick Teeth. That transition happened Carnage 2009.
Interesting.
Cool. Also on the 21st, IHW is continuing their September to Surrender with a show in Miramichi. Again on the card, Cody Diener, Miramichi's own Hunter Sampson, and Shane Butter Love, the heavyweight champion. Might be Charters, might be somebody else by then, who knows. Matt Chevron, Julian Young, Rick Owens, Kirk Obey, and more. So that's on Sunday. Also on Sunday, Wrestling in Windsor 10, calling it the biggest show ever in Windsor, Nova Scotia. They have a singles match, Franco Varga versus Wesley Pipes. Another singles match, Channing Decker versus JP Sims. They have also got Cody Uno Ocho in the main event versus WWE alumni Bubba Thunder. Also on the card is Wildman Gary Williams, WWE alumni Robbie McAllister, Ring of Honor alumni, the world famous Cheeseburger, and more. So it's going to be a big show, I think.
The heck
Pretty
is
big
going
card.
on? What is that?
Wrestling in Windsor, it's the biggest show ever. So
Yeah,
definitely the biggest show in Windsor, I'm sure.
yeah. I didn't see that card. But geez, that's incredible. Channing Decker back in the Maritimes.
Yeah.
Wildman Gary Williams, Franco Varga. That's huge.
And I heard
Yeah.
Cheeseburger. He's on GCW now, isn't he?
Yeah,
Is he?
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
he made his name in Ring of Honor. Just
Yeah.
this skinny fella.
Yeah.
And named Cheese, like it's an Orange Cassidy, it's a Danhausen type gimmick where you'll get massively over, but there's a shelf life.
Yeah.
And Cheeseburger still roaming in around the Indies, but he's one of those like really big like stars of at the moment that I miss because I wasn't really following Ring of Honor like. Trying to think the last time that I really followed Ring of Honor like hardcore.
Yeah, it's been
Probably before AEW when they still had like the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes and all these guys before WWE and AEW just raided everything.
He was on there, right? Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
He was in a couple of dark matches here and there, and like I don't know if he was on like Collision, maybe.
The only cheeseburger I know comes from McDonald's, so I can't speak to this cheeseburger.
I don't know.
but the
IPW smash burgers are good.
The cheeseburgers I eat also have a shelf life, so it's very
There you go.
relatable, Corey.
Also on that Sunday, North Pro has another show in Bible Hill, Truro, Nova Scotia. They're going country, so North Pro
Ooh.
goes country.
Yeehaw.
It's going to be at the Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition Complex from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission on Sunday. So if you guys are in the area, it's free to get in. It's part of their fair that they got going on. It's the Nova Scotia Stampede is what it is.
Okay.
And on the card, they've got the North Pro champion, Chip Chambers, Dawson James, Rudy Lockhart, Sabotage, Ryan Denham, Chantal, Dick Durning, Kobe Christ, and Ronnie Payne listed. So all
And
kinds
Chip
of
Chambers is not the North Pro champion. The champion is Giant Orion.
depends.
Oh.
No, I can't. I mean, Kobe Christ and Giant Orion are both on the Ghost Country card.
Okay.
So could be Giant Orion, could be Kobe Christ. We'll have to wait.
I'm gonna say it like Adam Dew said again, the Giant Orion.
Giant Orion, yeah.
So that being said,
So there's
3 IHW shows, 2 North Pro shows, Canadian Grand Prix Wrestling Show, Wrestling in Windsor.
7
That's for this
shows.
weekend. 7 shows. We'll get to those next week. But for this week, Fan Question of the Week will return next week. Right now, it is time for Mark's Side of the Ring.
Dum dum dum.
Spooky as fuck.
Spooky as fuck. Mark, what is this month's Mark Side of the Ring?
Oh man, this was a goodie.
He always starts with, oh man. You notice that? Oh man.
Well, it shows my enthusiasm. Corey.
There you go. I love it.
Thank you very much. Thank
That's
you
the
very
neck t-shirt. Mark the Mark. Oh man.
Oh man. But yeah, no, we were looking at a match from so we're looking at the year 2009, IHW Mayhem, and so you may have listened to one of the past Mark Side of the Rings where we looked at a match from Titus versus Julian Young for the first IHW Heavyweight Championship match.
And that was at the very first IHW show.
Exactly. And now we are looking at another Titus and Julian Young, IHW Heavyweight Championship match. And it feels like I'll say it right away, this match felt like they had been feuding for those 4 years. It really did. And so it was interesting for different reasons. There was a couple of things that really came to my attention during this match. One of the things, just kind of starting off, I think Julian was a heel.
He was.
I think it was one of those matches where he was being cheered because he's Julian Young, obviously.
Julian, yeah.
But
So
he was
the heel turn had not been that long. He had been a babyface a few months before that, but the slow burn towards him being a heel was there. And I believe it was the show right before that, he attacked Titus. Just full-blown heel now. And just so people know, 2009 might be my favorite year in IHW history, because Julian Young's IHW heavyweight title reign, spoiler alert, is one of the absolute best. A little long, it was 364 days, a little long for me, but was still really good.
no way that close to a year.
So, funny thing is, Titus lost the title to Julian on this night.
Yeah.
His title reign ended 364 days.
Oh man, I was going to mention that because they did state that Titus had the title for about a year, and they called it the Titus era. So I was like, okay, I see. It was like a reign of not a reign of terror, but you know what I mean.
During IHW's lifetime, there were plenty of Titus eras.
That's
He was the man.
Yeah. But yeah, like it was interesting, and kind of touching back on something that I mentioned there earlier, but he was a heel, I think, for the simple reason that he was vying for the title in a case where it was kind of valid, but he had never been pinned successfully by Titus. So I was like, okay, right. I understand. So this is kind of what was going on. Like, you understand the psychology behind the match. So he was desperate. Like, you could see where that came from, and that's what made it so good.
Let me fix what you just said there.
Yeah.
He had never pinned Titus. Not Titus had never pinned him.
Sorry.
He had never pinned Titus. And that's where this storyline came. And I also want to throw a little shout out to Johnny Chase. Did a great job on commentary in this match. I was watching it today, and it's a solid match, man. It's a really good, it's early, and you can tell that it's early, but the production value is really good. Hub City Productions always did a great job. And Johnny Chase, man, so fun to listen to.
Yeah. So at this point, Titus had been, it was the first time that somebody had won the title twice.
Yep, Titus was the first two-time champion. Yep.
Yeah. So basically, sorry, just a second there. I was just kind of lost in my notes. My bad. It's because we just talked about something that I was going to talk about after, and I was like, oh. So anyway, but when we watched the first match, what really caught my eye at that very moment was how they already worked so well on the psychology, the ring work, bringing the crowd in, stuff like that. And I think in that 4 years, it's incredible how much they improved already, and based on what they already had.
You have to look at Titus and Julian. They started IHW in 2005.
Yeah.
Irish Town Hardcore Wrestling probably started in 2003. So they had been untrained wrestling each other for a few years before that. And I remember stories BT would tell me Titus would hit the deuce driver on Julian on top of a car. They started from the backyards, got trained, and became legends in the Maritimes.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I don't condone that. Don't go backyard wrestling.
Don't do that.
Get trained. You can get seriously hurt.
Cars are expensive.
Yeah, cars are expensive. Just do it on top of Corey's car.
There you go.
Oh, sure.
I mean, his window's already cracked.
Just take out the rest of my car. Fucking 2-month-old car with a busted window. I didn't get hit by one rock. I got hit by two. Come on.
That's a shoot right there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mentioned so much already, but like we would call this what essentially a grudge match, right? And that's kind of to go back on the psychology of it. They'd been building on it, the facial expressions, the whole, like, everything was just perfect. And, like, the match wasn't even started yet.
Yeah, like you were
amazing.
talking about the psychology, like,
Yeah.
when we talk about, like, the first match that we had did the Mark Side of the Ring on, their first match, they had been wrestling each other for a while, but as far as that, like, first show goes, you could kind of, like, see the nerves a little bit. You know what I mean? The first time wrestling in front of a really big crowd. It's
Exactly. Yeah.
This is a milestone. This is, you know what I mean? We can't fuck this up. You know what I mean? But now, 4 years later, they've got all of those feuding together. They've got all the in-ring psychology. Now they're comfortable. So now you really see. They had the crowd eating under the palm of their hand this whole match.
Oh, yeah.
There was a whole, like, up and down, the whole roller coaster vibe. You know what I mean? The give and take, when to explode, when to calm down and stand back and let the crowd feed. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, exactly. And like even the start of the match, like it was a slow burn. It was like Julian was showing his frustration during the match. You could already see that he was trying to like test him out and it wasn't working out properly. So he was showing a lot of frustration and already he was showing a lot of heel-ish demeanor, right? Like being cowardly kind of. And it was in no way what you would see in a Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title match there. Like,
Yeah.
Leaving the ring and all that and just like, you don't see that, right? But like it persisted throughout the match, and it was blowing up like each time, and that's what I kind of enjoyed about it. Like you wouldn't be able to tell what was going to happen. But now during the match, a couple other things that I noticed that I'm really picking on things that I enjoyed quite a bit, like outside of just like the technical aspect of the match, where they really, really highlighted the Spanish Fly. The reason behind that is because Julian Young had lost matches to the Spanish Fly in the past.
So what's funny is they sort of went the All Japan route where you had a finisher and then a super finisher.
Right.
So Julian Young had the 5-point buster, now known as the Air Raid Crash, but his super finisher was the Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah.
Titus had the Deuce Driver, but his super finisher was the Spanish Fly, which, and at that point in time, like in the 2000s, is a relatively new move. Like I believe it was the Spanish announce tag team that used that, but it was a double Spanish Fly. And if people that don't know, you go on the top rope, you rock bottom them, and then you backflip off the rope, and basically a flipping rock bottom. And Titus was just the master of that move. Like he could have called it something else, but he stuck with the name Spanish Fly, and it just worked.
Even in 2005, like he executed it so well. I found in that match, like it was amazing.
Yeah.
For such new wrestlers to be able to, new wrestlers, it's like you mentioned, they were kind of backyard trained, I suppose, for a couple of years before they really got to be trained as professionals, I guess we could use as a word. But it was amazing. And it's like you mentioned as well, like the Canadian Destroyer, it was teased during the match, right? They were like, oh, like, is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? Like that. They really got people, like Jason said, like they were feeding them right out of the palm of their hands. They had the table set. They just had to execute. That was it. Right? Yeah. Either way, pop. There would have been a pop. So I absolutely loved that during that match. Like they really wanted to tell that story. It went super well. This is probably one of the best matches that I've seen up to date. like I also mentioned that for the Leo Burke and Rick Martel match from Atlantic Grand Prix, how they told a story before the match of how Leo Burke, he's the face during that match. He got attacked. He's hurt. He's gonna wrestle hurt. He's gonna do this. He's the Superman, right?
It's the baby face thing. It was international though, not Grand Prix.
International. My bad. Sorry.
It's funny that you mentioned that match because I got a weird question from a guy at work, and he asked me if there's a song that's overused in wrestling, and my answer was "Eye of the Tiger."
True.
Because Hogan used it, Lawler used it, Burke used it on that one. I know I'm going off topic, but Hogan's the only one that made sense. He was in Rocky 3. So back to IHW.
Fun fact.
I think what really helped IHW this match and beyond, the 2005 match as well, is the internet wasn't as big as it is now.
It was there, but not as big. YouTube's in its infancy.
Yeah. So there's no scrolling your phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's none of that, right? So like Corey Robertshow says all the time, leave real life at the door. You come in and you enjoy the show. There was a lot of that back then because there was there was no social media really. You know what I mean?
MySpace.
Infancy. Yeah, it was the infancy, right? There was no
It was message boards, is what it was.
Yeah,
and it was people having communications. That's how I first heard about IHW. I was on a Real Action Wrestling message board, and they talked about a show that was coming to Sackville. And in retrospect, it was probably fucking Marcus Burke that made that post. It was probably one of the guys, right? But that's how I heard about it. It was in Sackville, New Brunswick. I didn't get there. Video got posted a few days later. I downloaded it. It took me forever to download the video because that was internet back then. And then I went to Irishtown and haven't looked back. So,
but like I said, well, that's what I mean, right? It's hard. It was harder to get video back then, right?
100%.
So you went to the shows, you got invested in the shows because that's the only wrestling you were going to see is live stuff, more or less.
Yeah. With IHW, they would occasionally put out a DVD. I still have a few DVDs here. I know Corey still has a few DVDs.
But you had to go to the show to get it.
You had to go to the show to get it. I have the Mayhem 2008, 2009, this show we're talking about, and September to Surrender 6, where BT Bobby Man wins the I title. That was 6 in 2011.
That was against
We're going to have
Storm, right?
I have pretty much everything from 05 to 07.
And it's probably on YouTube
now. And I may or may not have a copy of Irishtown Backyard Wrestling.
I want to see that.
You can't prove it. I want to see that. I may or may not have a copy.
Can't prove it. Huh? Okay.
If it ends up in Corey's hands, that might happen this weekend if I can remember. Who knows?
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
Sleepover.
But like I was saying, because everybody had to go to those shows and witness it live, it was easier for wrestlers to have them feed off of the action in the ring because people aren't oversaturated with wrestling. Nowadays, you could watch 24 hours a day, 7 days a week wrestling and never see the same match twice.
Yeah.
Whereas back in 09...
We know Corey tries to do it every week.
Yeah, that's right. But back in 09, I mean, first of all, it was a 4-year feud building up to this. Yeah. And you know what I mean? I mean, it was a fantastic match. I loved it.
What's interesting about this as well is they meet on this night. They might meet in a 3-way or a 4-way or something like that. Other than that, they don't touch until a year later. Yeah. There's another year-long build of Titus working his way back to the title. And the one thing IHW's done to me is they've never released the footage of Titus and Julian Young in 2010. Mayhem 2010. They had a stretch of 3 Mayhems in a row that it was. Titus winning the belt from Mr. Suave Joshua Arrow. 1 year later, Titus loses the title to Julian Young. 1 year later, Julian Young loses the title back to Titus. And it basically squashed their feud for a few years. They'd always revisit it, but that 2010 Mayhem was really the culmination of what at that point was a 5-year feud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've seen the match live. I was there. But the footage isn't online. Unless I missed it, I've never seen that match. Jeez, I don't even think... I did have a camera. Yeah, you're right. So, Mark?
But yeah, like, even with everything that you guys have mentioned, I think, like, even myself, like, if I would have showed up at this show, it would have been hard not to understand what was going on, right? Like, it was clear as day. Right, yeah. You show up there and you're like, man, like these guys have had it before. Like you can tell, right? So that's what made it so like I think they built the storyline and the feud as well as could have been done. There's no. Now I might be saying this out of, because I don't know, but I think this probably is the number one storyline / feud in the Maritimes. Like
history,
at least modern.
It's up there. Modern, yes. There are some claims for others. Burke versus Merrick. There's an entire like compilation video that New Scott put out on their feud, which is really good. But it's condensed into the year. I don't remember if it was 2017 or 18. It's condensed to a few shows.
I'm gonna say
great feud.
This feud built a company. That feud was in an already stable company, and they were able to work it to what it was. I loved Merrick versus Burke, but I genuinely think that Titus and Julian worked it from the ground up, and if they don't have that feud, there probably isn't an IHW now.
Like, the thing is, people will always say, well, the golden days of... Leo Burke versus Cuban Assassin and Leo Burke versus Killer Karl Krupp. And, there are these old feuds from Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling and International Wrestling. Does Titus and Julian overshadow those feuds even?
I don't think it overshadows it, but they rival it.
Corey?
No, I don't think so. I think those were, again, it's a different time, so it's hard to compare. It's not apples to apples. But I'll just say I respect this feud a lot. I enjoyed this feud a lot, and I'm glad we got Mark to watch another one of these.
It's apples and oranges, but they're in the same basket.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's one way to look at it, because especially like Grand Prix International, they were on TV, right?
Yeah. Eventually they did go on TV. The TV thing now just doesn't, like, I don't expect any maritime wrestling promotion to go on TV when YouTube is right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I look at CCW that's over 1,000 now subscribers. Like, they're probably making some money off that now. So it's like, we live in a different time. But 2009, you weren't making money off YouTube by putting your shows. Like, IHW, around that time period, introduced the iTitle, which was going to be exclusive matches on YouTube, on their YouTube channel. The IHW YouTube channel, there's been like 1,000, maybe 1,001. That original channel had the IHW iTitle matches. One thing I want to talk about before you go to the ending is IHW is kind of, their eras are defined by their titles. And the original era was the old backyard belt, and that got stolen. And this new era, which is probably my favorite era of IHW, maybe like top 1 or 2 favorite eras ever in maritime wrestling, is like that 08 to maybe 2011, 2012 era of IHW. Their championship belt was literally a replica WWF light heavyweight title with tape and plates over it,
Yeah. No, that's. I think it shows. It really shows in these types of matches, right? Like that was a heck of an era to watch wrestling, and you could hear from people. You know, myself and Corey, we worked together, and we worked with BT Bobby Man, and like hearing about what was going on at that time. It was rock and roll, man. Yeah. Like you wanted to be there. Like I wanted to be there. I had no way of getting there. Well, I could have, but like, it was weird. Like I would
have hopped in the car with me and BT.
Yeah, I know, but like it's those types of things, right?
IHW at that point in time felt like there was a lot of hope and a lot of promise.
Yeah.
And usually a company like that won't last 20 years. Here we are. Right? So Mark, you want to get into the end of this match?
Yeah, absolutely. And really, again, to kind of touch on the whole entirety of the match, like even the spots, they weren't high flying, they weren't fancy flips and shit and whatever. They were just really technically well done, well executed. Yeah. Again, complemented the whole thing. The psychology of the match, it was well timed, it was perfect, it was great. I enjoyed watching it. Everybody should watch it. If you're a fan of Maritime Wrestling, that's one of those, I don't know if this is the right word to use, but a keystone match. I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That would define it well. So, but yeah, at the end of the match, it's like I was mentioning, Julian had like this desperate feel to him, like he was kind of being a heel-y guy. And around the end there, it was a pretty big last 3 or 4 minutes. It was packed, and it was a packed 3 or 4 minutes, I should say. And he went outside of the ring. They were like, where's he going? He got a title, he got a chair. So, what's up with that? But then the ref notices he has the title, so he puts it away, and then he has a chair. And then the ref goes, oh, no, you can't have a chair. Then as he's turning around and taking it out, bang, title right to the face of Titus.
Right to the noggin.
That was the opening of the door to finish the match, basically.
Yep.
It was Titus struggling, trying to get things together, and man, it didn't go well. Julian took it, used the weapon again, used the title, I believe, again. And wham, bam. That was it, man. 1, 2, 3. And that was the second 2-time IHW World Heavyweight Champion.
What's unfortunate is this is Julian's last reign as IHW Heavyweight Champion. He would have banger matches like in the mid-card after that, but this title reign was excellent. Just some of the guys he faced included Dan Paisan, Pee-wee, just some of the best, just really enjoyed this title reign, and I felt it was appropriate to go back to IHW and to go back to what made IHW. Yep. When Julian Young retires, I know Titus has called it a career. When Julian Young retires, if there is a Maritime Wrestling Hall of Fame that ever is made, these two are first ballot Hall of Famers, and they should go in like on the same card because they're so... There's no Titus without Julian Young, and there's no Julian Young without Titus. I think they're peanut butter and jelly. They just match together.
You know what? Recently, we actually talked about if there was a Maritime Wrestling Hall of Fame, who we would have in it. And we all mentioned different names. We all have different aspects of it. Now, I think that there was one thing that was missing from mine, and I think this is very common occurrence nowadays, where they will choose a match, and they will induct a match. And that could very well be the first one. Since you'd already have Leo Burke, you'd already have the Human Assassin, you'd already have these names from the Golden Era, why not have a more modern match?
There's 3 great matches of Titus and Julian Young that you can pick, and there are more too. Like they've had 1,000 matches, But yeah, Good episode of Mark's Side of the Ring. We'll have another Mark's Side of the Ring in a month. Anything else before we sign out, Mark?
Not really. I mean, the one thing that really came to mind watching this match, obviously we spoke about it. We were saying, is this the number one feud of all time in the Maritimes? Yes, probably the modern era. Absolutely.
Agree.
What would be the closest that would come right now to what this is?
Right now?
Even if it was slightly in the past. Let's open it up a little bit more.
Like how much pre-pandemic or post-pandemic?
Let's say post-pandemic.
Post-pandemic.
What's the closest?
I don't know. One for me.
Like 2021, let's say, ish.
I can tell you the one that had the most promise, and thanks to the pandemic, it never really materialized. But Moondog Dylan Davis and Marcus Burke. Yeah. And they ended up having a really, really solid, great wrestling match. But you're talking about a build from Massacre at the Capitol all the way to the final Burke show in November 2024. So you're looking at another 3-year build, a double turn, and everything. So yeah, that would be the closest one for me. Mark, do you have one?
It's tough because I probably started going to North Pro shows with you guys. When was it? 2021 or
2022?
2022, yeah.
Yeah, Ballroom Blitz.
It was tough because I saw the tail end of that feud, but it was probably the best one that I have seen up to now.
For me right now, if there's one coming up, it's going to be Ethan Knight and Rudy Lockhart. I think those two are coming into their own at the same time, and there's a lot of potential there for a hell of a feud.
Yep. And it's like I was saying, right? It's not for a main title or anything like that. It's just a really, really good feud. They're feeding the fire into it. It's becoming a cross-promotion feud. I love it. I love that aspect of it because you can watch them in different promotions.
Different promotion and for different titles, too.
Exactly.
They feuded for the light heavyweight title in Red Rock and Atlantic Canadian title in UCW, and just they're going strong right now.
Yeah, I'm happy we touched on that. That's a really it's still hot right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with that being said, that is the end of episode 29. Episode 30, we have something a little bit special to celebrate the 30th episode of the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. We will be debuting a new intro. So after our wrestler intro, you will hear the new intro. If you are at IHW September to Surrender 20 this Saturday, the entire podcast crew will be there. Come say hi if you see us. Big Boss will be at the North Pro show the night before. I think he's the only one going to North Pro.
Yeah, I'm gonna
let you know how it goes.
Yeah,
Mark.
But who did the wrestler intro today?
Patrick O'Neill.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So big thank you to Patrick O'Neill.
Thank you.
What the fuck? So yeah, a big thank you to Patrick O'Neill for the intro. A big thank you to everybody for joining us. And we will see you in 7 days. Until then, take care, guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember to catch us here every Wednesday for a new episode. Please visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and more. Links are in the description. See you next time.
Don't miss out and don't be late. Hear wrestling talk